Hi everyone, my name is Maggie Brennan and I am a senior consultant with Fund Consulting. And today we'll be talking about performance goals and measurements, and in particular we'll be talking about PG&Ms in the context of the increase in volume of financial products and services objective, or what we also call the general increase objective. So first, let's take a step back and review what are performance goals and measurements, or PG&Ms. If you receive an FA award, PG&Ms are the goals that you'll be held to by the CDFI Fund as a part of your assistance agreement. PG&Ms are calculated based on the objectives that you're applying under, as well as the financial data that you provide in your application. In general, applicants should keep in mind that you'll receive a performance goal for each objective you apply under. So if you're planning on applying under multiple objectives, you'll have multiple performance goals. Performance goals are based on the financial data and projected activity that you input into your application, not necessarily the size of the award you requested. This means that you'll be held to the same performance goals listed in your application, even if you receive an award that's less than what you requested. Now let's start talking about the general increase objective. For this objective, your performance goal will be calculated based on the total projected activity in your target market and eligible markets that you list in your financial data tables. So for example, if you list $1 million in each of your 3 years of projected activity in the financial data tables, your performance goal would be $3 million. Also, one thing to keep in mind as you're filling out your financial data tables, your projected activity should only include on-balance sheet activity. The other thing that you should keep in mind for this objective is that there's a performance goal floor. The performance goal floor is calculated based on your historic activity in your target market and eligible markets, past FA awards received under the general increase objective, and the size of the award you're requesting. At a minimum, a CDFI's floor will be the sum of their past 3 years of historic activity within their target market and eligible markets, plus the dollar amount of the FA award that CDFI requests. So for example, if a CDFI closed $1 million of loans in the first historic fiscal year, $1.25 million in the second historic fiscal year, and $1.5 million in the third historic fiscal year, and they requested a $1 million FA award, their floor would be $4.75 million. Another factor that goes into calculating the performance goal floor is that if a CDFI received an FA award for the general increase objective in either of the last 2 funding rounds, they would have an active assistance agreement that includes performance goals that would overlap with the years of projected activity in the current application. In this case, a CDFI will need to show that they are exceeding the amount they're already being held to in their other assistance agreements for those performance goals. Finally, if as you're putting together your projections, you see that your projected activity doesn't show an increase in activity over your historic data, you can still apply under this objective. You'll just need to provide the CDFI Fund with a justification for why the increase in products and services that you anticipate occurring over the next 3 years isn't necessarily reflected in your financial data tables. The CDFI Fund will then review, assess, and accept any of these justifications on a case-by-case basis. Finally, if you're applying under the general increase objective, we have a few tips for your application. First, make sure that the projected activity in your financial data tables are only based on balance sheet lending in your target market or eligible markets. Second, include projections that you are confident you can hit. You need to keep in mind that if you're awarded, you'll be held to the same projections listed in your application, even if you receive an award that's less than what you initially requested. Third, at the same time, the CDF Fund really likes to see that you can leverage their award with other funds in order to go above and beyond the minimum activity. Most importantly, you really want to make sure that your performance goals and projected activity make sense and that they tie back to your strategy described throughout your application. We really hope that this video is helpful. If you have any questions about performance goals and objectives, as always, check out the CDFI Fund's application guidance, their NOFA, all of which you can find on the CDFI Fund's website, and of course, reach out to Fund Consulting.